Welcome back again. Welcome to the Bar Minimum Podcast. What's up, guys?
I'm sorry I was late. This morning someone filled my Tesla with bees, and the bees were all dipped in poison, and I found the hive in the back seat, and there was a stink bomb in it.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I had to clear that out, and it took me a while to get here.
Okay, yeah. Wow, you drive a Tesla?
No, I don't drive. No, I don't drive a Tesla. I would never.
How dare you?
Even if I did, I wouldn't cop to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's it always seems like every year Tesla's in the news for something, being for saving the environment, for destroying the environment,
saving the bees,
killing the bees,
Poisoning the bees.
That's actually what it runs on.
Yeah,
it runs on fuel. It runs on crushed bees and honey. So apparently, no, it's not just in the States. It's hit us close to home.
Yeah.
What's been going on?
Lots of vandalism of individual people's cars and also dealerships, and not just vandalism too, but protests and stuff. But yeah, we just had a big one here nearby in Hamilton, Ontario.
I think one of Canada's largest vandalism. I think they were calling it.
Nice
Acts of vandalism.
Is that by
most expensive? I think
by dollars. Yeah.
Makes
sense. I think a lot of cars keyed, some spray paint. I think.
I just love why would you try to attack a Cybertruck when it's indestructible? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Why would you try to attack a Cybertruck when you could just lease one and drive it for 3 months and have it break down?
Yeah, I don't know. Electric cars in Canada, that's a whole other conversation, right? But yeah, it's kind of crazy what's going on. Who's next? Volkswagen? Porsche?
Yeah.
Who made the Tiger turrets? The King Tigers. It was Porsche. It was. Right?
Take that, ThyssenKrupp.
Wow, going way back.
Face every
but you know what?
ThyssenKrupp,
You can't get back at Hitler because he's dead. Why not attack new Hitler?
Actually, that's something. Something I was thinking. Hey. I haven't seen this mentioned. This is sort of a little aside, I guess. But the Elon the salutes that he threw up there a few weeks back, or a month or whatever it was. I haven't seen anybody bring this up online. Maybe some people have. I haven't seen it, but how come nobody is throwing out the usually crazy theory that this was a humiliation ritual? That
the actual Illuminati?
Yeah, the actual vampires that are running things are like, Elon, you want everyone to think that you're super cool and you have power. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this. You're gonna make yourself look like an asshole. You're gonna devalue your company, and we'll let you have that little illusion of power. So anyway, I was like, how come the people who are usually trying to call out the satanic cabal, how come they're not putting any pieces together here on this one specifically?
That's a good way to put it.
Right?
Yeah. I do it for free. I sabotage myself.
Yeah.
Self-embarrassment, right? I'm not a part of any cabals or
that's unintentional.
Kamehamehas, but I did think about, I know we don't want to hang too much on the salute. I have seen it at different politicians, both sides.
I mean,
wait.
Okay.
I've seen it. I've literally seen it. Musk's was the hard R of it.
Yeah,
it was. There's no
getting around
he doubled down.
You're not supposed to do it in the first place, but when you said it, you dropped the hard R version of it. So that's my thoughts on it. So
sure, yeah.
No matter how anybody wants to cope, anybody wants to talk around it,
oh yeah,
I've seen the gesture, but that was too.
It's kind of like it's kind of faded in the news to where now he is appealing for sympathy for his car company getting targeted like this, and yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Just overall, just is it funny? Is it sad? Is it both?
I saw a meme.
Is it effective?
Was floating around a lot, where the top of the meme has him going, "Look at them not buy Bud Light," and then the other one at the bottom says, "Burn the Teslas to the ground." So it's trying to show how one side protests and then maybe the other side protests.
Sure.
But then you're taking small.
Oh.
There's always more to something, right?
So you're saying
interesting.
They're making fun of people who said, "Wow, why would you boycott Bud Light?" They're calling them hypocritical for now boycotting Tesla, I guess.
Where it's just that one side was okay, they don't like how their product is being marketed to them, so they're protesting in this way by not purchasing. Although Kid Rock to shoot a whole bunch of cans.
He did,
Don't forget that.
That's right. Kid Rock, always the most level-headed political commentator.
You should always
That's
trust.
what I look for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guiding light.
And then in this case, there's a certain side that is firebombing dealerships, causing damage to cars, assaulting people who own cars, who maybe at the time of buying a Tesla didn't view Musk or like.
Have people been assaulted or just their personal, like their?
I'm talking about, their vehicles being assaulted.
Yeah, they're
right. They're attacking
damaged.
someone's vehicle. So like a family that was rich enough to buy a Tesla, maybe a couple of years ago, and then all of a sudden it's attacked. Maybe I'm not talking about anything in Canada, but I've seen people like writing on it saying like, I got this before Musk,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the stickers. They have a couple of those stickers.
It is. I think it's a really stupid thing to just attack that way. Like to attack like someone who just bought a Tesla, like to associate them for that.
Yeah, I think
like I think that's just like there's no brain cells in there.
To what degree any of it is effective, I would say the dealership, the protests and the action taken at dealerships is definitely
the better of the.
It's definitely a better choice than targeting just some individual person with a Tesla. I don't think that is really.
I don't know.
Because I think it's easy to have sympathy for somebody who's like coming back to their car with groceries and finding their car damaged or whatever. Like, sure, you can. This person is not. This person is not in Trump's cabinet or shadow cabinet or however you want to.
Cabal shadow.
Well, the shadow cabinet's a real thing in Canadian government, but
You think Justin Trudeau just put on a hat in a grocery store and you think he's out of this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Justin Trudeau is just like everybody else. He puts his hat on one hat at a time and takes his Tesla to the grocery store and comes out to find it covered in pig's blood.
But you were saying like it's like when and where and should you?
Yeah, exactly. And like basically what do I actually think is an effective stand? I don't think any of it's that effective really, but what's a justifiable sort of like something that can actually get people to be like on board with like, yeah, okay, somebody defaced that Tesla dealership facade or whatever at the showroom. Can people be like, yeah, you know what? I think that is an okay way to send your message that you don't approve of I mean, I'm hopeful that this is like a turning point where we really actually stand up to saying and say that we don't want billionaires in politics.
Yeah.
I'm not so optimistic to think that this will actually really work. I think the retribution will just be harder and swifter than ever, and we're already sort of seeing that with calls of domestic terrorism for these incidents and stuff. And to be clear, I'm not going to try to like dance around it just because I think for the most part the people doing these actions are probably closer politically to me than not. I think you could argue that they are dipping their toes into terrorism if you want to look at it as intimidation for a political gain or for a political change. But really what I think it is the disaffection and frustration and dissatisfaction with where we are coming to fruition and manifesting in this way right now because Elon Musk is such a visible figure. He's put himself out there so much. And also he sucks. Like he's like cringy and not funny, so it's easy to want to like bully that guy.
Hey man, he's just maturing as a 10-year-old. Right?
He's the most.
Cut him some slack.
They're calling him the most ketamine. Using 10-year-old.
I mean, that's the most relatable part about him. It's like, okay, with Special K.
I remember that when I was a kid. Yeah,
that's right. But yeah, so like I get it. But I mean, it is a dangerous game for the people doing these acts, and especially in the United States, because like I said, the ramifications can be pretty severe.
Well, evil billionaires back in the day knew to just not be in the public more than like twice a year.
Oh yeah, they
And
were
that's the way to
shadow
do it.
billionaires.
Yeah, I don't need to know that he's a normal guy, or at least how evil he is. Just like hide, you don't need to be in
There's
front of the
people
camera.
who are some of the richest people in the world you don't even know about. They
Yeah,
exist.
exactly. Yeah, and they're all demons, and Rockefeller was a demon too, but at least he was building libraries.
Yeah, every so often
and
he'd toss a library out there.
hospital
The
wings
money launderer,
instead of. But yeah, at least he's doing that instead of buying Twitter and
Sure.
getting mad at and blocking or shadow banning people who didn't like his latest memes.
Yeah, exactly. Like stop tweet. Anyway, one thing. I have a shitty 2010 hatchback. You know it.
think it's shitty.
I think it's lovely. Yeah.
I
I
think it's
take
great.
care of it. I'm just saying it's not a 6-figure.
It's not as cool as my Model S Teslur.
Yeah, with the B edition. Yeah,
Model SB. Yeah.
SB. Oh my god. Yeah, but like, could you imagine the rage I felt when that young chain smoking teenager threw that ice cap into my grill just for playing music on my way into work on a Saturday?
Yeah,
I was like,
a few
I'm
years
going
ago.
to work on a weekend, trying to have a good day, and you have a little bit less of a good day, and you just throw that toxic sludge into my. I still remember it. Imagine someone keying your relatively new 6-figure vehicle with cameras, which
Polygon
is
truck. Low polygon truck.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think.
The irony too
What's the irony?
is the people that they're keying. Like I actually agree with you. With the dealerships is the way to better of the two options.
Yeah.
If you're keying some lady's car in the parking lot, that the top 10 cars in the top 10 EV sales states in the U.S., you can guess where they are. They voted blue, every single one.
I know.
For sure.
And the lowest EV sales states are all red. So it's like you're keying the cars of your compatriots.
Yeah, you wanted this.
Largely, yeah.
You supported
that's,
this at a
That's
certain
the
point.
thing, is because a couple of years ago, electric cars were super lib coded, right?
Yes, yeah.
And like I was actually seeing on Reddit and Twitter and stuff, just 2 years ago. So like Elon Musk had already made his like rightward turn politically and everything, but even just 2 years ago, there were like threads on Reddit being like, how come people are giving me the finger when I'm driving my Tesla? And it's all dudes in like pickup trucks
Yeah.
flying Trump's flags who are
really?
who are flipping off people in Tesla, right? Because it's an electric car. It signals who you are, and I think that's the most sad and pathetic part. But also this is so emblematic of where we are as a consumer culture and a car culture that your car just now defines who you are. You're just if you drive a Tesla, you deserve to have it keyed because Elon Musk is a piece of garbage. And if you drive a pickup truck, it means you're probably not very smart. Our cars shouldn't define us, but they do right now.
I think they're saying something about penis size, but
No. Everyone knows that's true already.
I think it poses a huge morality question, where it's you start something, and where does it stop? You have the left now deciding to burn these dealerships. Okay, so when the right decide to burn something, what is it?
Right.
What is it?
Capitol building.
Well, no, I mean, it didn't. Did it really burn? Did it like one person died?
Excuse me, Nancy Pelosi's desk was befouled.
Yeah, it was. It was beside her Nvidia stocks.
So here's what I think about that. Also, I know what you mean, and everyone knows what you mean. Like with the nebulous, the left,
Everything
and the
ramps
right,
up.
right?
Yeah.
But so the right, and now I'm doing it, but conservative-minded people, they view private property as sacred.
Because they own it, right?
Well, because
you mean like private?
Not even theirs.
Okay,
Just
Anybody's.
property
Okay.
in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can more obviously closely understand somebody not wanting their property messed with, but just private property in general. Seeing a dealership, people who don't own these cars, they're insured, whatever. Somebody has to come to work that day who would otherwise be trying to sell a car, has to sweep up something or pressure wash some pink spray paint, right? The right views property as sacred, the sanctity of private owned property and wealth. Whereas I think that human dignity is a more important thing. So I don't get upset seeing burnt cars in a dealership parking lot. What gets me is, children being blown to bits. hearing stories of kids who have to pay back their school lunches by working at a slaughterhouse till 7 a.m, right? And child poverty and homelessness, right? Like these are the things that animate me and
So you're saying the focus is wrong.
well, I'm saying the focus.
Instead of burning a dealership, you should burn the. No, you should. No. What I'm saying is
no. What I'm saying is the right gets all up in arms about the wrong thing. Is what I'm saying.
Sure,
because
but
they see.
I could see
they
that.
see destruction of property as like this ultimate insult to society, as this blemish on our social order or our social our soul. Whereas I think to be mad about that and to be focused on that is to miss the greater evils in our society.
Sure, it's I don't know. I see it no different than if the news wants to pump this out, it's no different than New Jersey drone sightings. It's like
flavor of the month distraction
in a way,
shit.
but like it's like where do you stop burning stuff? Like, okay, different scenario. A bank froze your account. Do you burn the bank down? Some guy in a podcast says something.
Don't burn down my bank. The money's at Bill's house.
But I'm just saying, like if you have enough people that you piss off, a famous podcaster, do you go to their house and burn it down? Do you once you start breaking that, like you're breaking the law regardless. And these people who are whatever government is in power, if one government does that smackdown of the law, gives you 20 years, what do you think when the other side gets in and then another side burns whatever down because of some sort of protest? You're going, and it's just going to be over and over. It's going to cause more security, more Big Brother watching.
Yes,
and
a bigger crackdown.
I just don't.
I hear you.
I have not seen the same. It's more an emotional act from a liberal side than a conservative. Sure, there is nutcases on both sides, like we've always said in these.
Well, I think this is just.
I think
you're right, and I think
crazy.
That's maybe a good thing because, and again, we're so U.S. focused. I think with this topic, which is kind of unfortunate, but
it has come to Canada, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, I think this generally goes more for the U.S. What I'm about to say.
Okay.
Although I think it is becoming true in Canada in little ways too, but what you can at least say for like Trump supporters of the past 8 plus years, like in the whole 2016 election cycle, is they were the side that was mad. They were the side that was aggrieved, and at least they knew that they were supposed to be mad because we should all be mad. And
you're allowed to.
And now liberals are kind of waking up a little bit and being like, hey, maybe this status quo, which is like our entire worldview, is actually failing a little bit, and that that brings me some hope. At the very least.
Oh yeah, you should be able to still exercise your. You can't let one side just roll over you.
For sure.
You're gonna crack again, but you can't let like how else? I mean, sure, you do the silent protest, you put the signs up, and maybe if you don't get your permit, you get everything for no. But that's one way to do it. We know how to properly protest. But then how do you grab someone's attention, right? Like how do you really? And one side thinks attacking, like, sure, it doesn't, we see a dealership on fire. It doesn't bother me. What if you worked at there? What happens if you were in car sales and then you end up getting a job at Tesla? Maybe you don't really care about this robot box with wheels on it, but do you have to be conservative to sell Teslas?
No, what I'm saying is that
I'm just saying, doesn't it affect you a little bit more if it's like,
if you're actually dealing with it,
if it really affects you point blank?
Sure. I'm sure it would. I mean, I still don't think that maybe you're more afraid or whatever, but I don't think your day's
safety
ruined if you have to go.
It's not you're not
some shit up, And I also think my empathy is not a bottomless well, and I have a lot less for a Tesla dealership employee. I'm not saying none. I'm not saying that I think that they're bad people or that they should be strung up. Disavow. I'm saying that like there's so much. There's so much bad that we all see on an everyday basis, and what affects you, like your politics influence what you see that affects you worse.
Right.
And I part of it is media coverage too, like the how much coverage it's getting for sure, because it's like a sexy story and everything, and
fire. I mean,
exactly, fire the world's richest man. I mean, I'd be worried. Honestly, I'd be worried if people weren't protesting the world's richest man.
Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
come on.
Oh, I get it. I mean, that's almost like a story as old as time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right.
So,
like,
to me, I'm kind of glad that some people who weren't maybe, and to be clear, like the people actually doing these acts on not like the individual keying cars, those are probably shit libs, but like the people spray painting Tesla dealerships and setting fire to stuff, these are probably people who were, at least in their minds, like political activists, right? Like these are people who are probably engaged before.
Yeah, jobless.
Mm-hmm. But I think that they have more of the, public opinion is not as low on these acts as they would have been just a year ago, kind of thing, because in this country we've got the very unpopular 51st state rhetoric coming from Trump and Musk, largely Trump, but Musk is sort of like is
that still going on?
A vizier or whatever.
Vizier. Oh yeah. Well, I think you're right on that. There's things that are more important to be worried about, and like a guy opening the doors of a Tesla dealership that's getting sprayed pink, and he's going, "Hey," and it's like, I mean, it sucks for that guy's work day, but people starving to death, all those 10, 20 things you mentioned earlier. The pink spray guy is way lower on that list.
Yeah, and like I want a better world for conservatives too. I want conservatives to have a roof over their heads and to not have to worry about mortgage payments and healthcare and getting their teeth fixed, and that's not a shot at conservatives having bad teeth. I'm just saying dental coverage is not included in our healthcare, right? So I want an expansion of social safety nets and everything, right? That would cover everybody. But yeah, my sympathy is and empathy is low for what Elon Musk and Tesla employees are going through. And by the way, Elon Musk just like 3 weeks ago said that empathy is like the downfall of Western civilization or some garbage.
Wow.
And now he's like,
it's kind of
appealing
cool.
For it.
He's kind of the best.
It flips. It's just like a leaf in the wind. It seems like whatever. But could this lead with the increase in the evolution of AI self-driven cars? Mm-hmm. Are we looking at self-defending AI cars?
Oh yeah, like Transformers.
Absolutely.
Wow, just like,
yeah.
And then like imagine that protest when like 10 people are mowed down by this autonomous
that's something that should be protested.
Or like maybe it has like some sort of super sonar like piercing your eardrums and I would never go that. It'd be pretty creepy.
And maybe I'm again being too optimistic, but I see this I see these protests as sort of a rebuke of the coming AI fascist state, like the people that are involved in crypto and AI that are very comfortable with Trump, and you can no doubt, like I have no doubt that the Canadian federal liberals and conservatives are deep into learning what AI can do for national security and all that stuff, right? Like, but with the Trump government, it's very visible these tech billionaires, right? Like that is kind of
going down a very dark path.
That has been the definition, like that's defined this second term so far, is how many billionaires are in the cabinet, how many billionaires like Musk are not politicians, but they have the ear of Trump and Vance. I mean, Vance was, installed by Peter Thiel or whatever, right? Like, that's that, and I
beautiful memes though, beautiful
yeah. I hope every time we say Teslur on this podcast, we will make JD Vance's cheeks bigger and
no,
but yeah. So I have some hope that that what these protests signal, and hopefully what these protests earn in broader support gets channeled into protesting billionaires in politics and in just public life in general.
So say if you decide to break laws by burning a dealership, whatever one side may be in power and whatever you're protesting, do you think that, like, what is the consequences? What is the consequences? Like, we know what this story is involved, but what if you flip it? Like, just flip it. Like,
I think the safest.
Like, what is the repercussions?
Yeah, I think.
Do you let them just burn and give them a couple, make them pay, or do you?
I mean, I
make
think
an example.
If I'm a judge, or if I'm, if I'm the law, then you get whatever you get for damage of property up to whatever dollar figure is, or however that works. I think. Again, like, I understand how you would try to tack on a political charge like terrorism onto this, but I don't know. I don't see it as intimidation. I see it as a display of frustration or a display of disagreement.
Yeah, it's a manifestation of like other problems. It just happens to be the one people latched onto.
What do you think, B? What do you think?
I'm torn. I mean, you guys know I'm from the States. I want them to do well economically. I don't like when a multi-billion-dollar company is starting to tank a little bit. I also know that the tech cabal, they're very straightforward about, they don't like humans very much.
That's right, man.
And it's a little scary that there is so many of them, and they are the worst type of evil billionaire that I've seen, like on average. And that there's so many around the president is kind of scary. I'm torn because on one side, someone compared it to the Boston Tea Party, and I chub up every time I hear about the Boston Tea Party.
How do you not, right?
I'm like, if you talk about John Revere, I'm immediately stroking. So like any of that time, so I was like,
Did you
revolution.
say John Revere, by the way?
I said John Paul Jones.
Oh, okay.
So any of that stuff, it kind of tickles my pickle, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like, fight the power.
They were
revolution,
property, right?
But at the same
Watch this.
time, I'm torn because when people do stuff like this, the troll in me is like, I've never wanted to buy a Cybertruck more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
I thought you were going the other way with it, that you were supporting the actions taken by the small group of underdogs. Kind of
The underdogs.
Well, I think you can see both. Right?
I mean, first of all,
their
you guys
80s
say
is fucked.
cabal one more time. We're going for kebabs.
Kebab. I know. Every time
want
we get
kebabs
to
now.
get
YouTube
shawarma.
censor.
Yeah.
Too, if we were to just in the future, instead of
kebabs.
saying kebab, we say the kebab.
Kebabs?
Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. But anyway,
You just show a picture. You just show a picture of a.
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry to derail that. That's what I do.
No, that's cool.
No, it's a good reference you made though. Like like as old as history, there's always a big revolt.
Yeah, and
someone destroying mass amount of property
to
prove a point.
Yeah, like destruction of property is pretty much a well-established form of protest, and like we said, it's I think better to do it to the company than an individual citizen, right?
You're talking dollars here, mass amounts of dollars being lost. The billionaires, if you were protesting peacefully on a street corner,
it's not
they
lost. It's shuffled around.
Oh, okay,
But,
but you're grabbing their attention.
I agree. Yes. Sorry. I
like
agree.
just roll up your windows and drive by. But if you now are affecting money, which makes everything go around,
and the stock too. Like
people have power
so now
still,
you have
which is
grabbed
rare.
the attention.
Yeah, exactly.
But they should be martyrs. They should be. I truly think that any side, if liberals and then or Democrats and Republicans attacked, whatever the Republicans hit them with, I think the Democrats should hit the Republicans. I think it should be fair. If you want to make a statement and you want to sacrifice potentially the way you want to live in the future, and you want to make that statement, go ahead, burn it. But if you are, face the consequences full out, no matter what they deem you.
What do you think about Trump and others sort of cheekily hinting at sending people arrested for Tesla vandalism to El Salvador? And
I thought they were gonna say like put them on like the front lines, like put them in like a war or something.
No, Trump hates war. He wants to end all the wars.
That's what
Yeah, he's gonna win a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Say that again. So like they take all these potential Tesla abusers.
Basically, anyone who's a prisoner now in the U.S., they are very close to just outright saying send them all to labor camps in El Salvador.
Okay, that's what you meant.
And like literally posting like memes of
join all the rest of the American citizens.
Like there were 2 people who were just arrested for some vandalism, and I don't remember the exact post, but it was basically like at President of El Salvador, who's put tons of people in jail. Like, we got 2 more for you, kind of thing, right? Which is like, that's not how any country should work. I get it, right? Like these are citizens of your country who they're your responsibility, and they have rights also. Even as prisoners, people have rights, right?
Well, if it's a free country, then you should be able to make your own decisions, but there are ramifications.
Right. There's checks and balances on who gets to make laws.
And on the big picture, the Democrats lost because the obvious reasons. But do you think they will learn from this administration, however long it goes, and if they get back into power, do you think they will truly learn their mistakes that
Probably
let
not.
them fall?
It's hard to.
You would hope so. I was like, you know what? Make good competition.
They have one direction that they could go for success, and they have another where they don't change anything, or they just go back. They go harder into what they were sort of trying to do. With the whole Harris campaign, and that is a dark path. That's a path of failure, but we'll see. I mean, we have our own election coming up too, which is kind of
at the end of the month of this filming, or actually, no, it's April.
Yeah, I think they might have announced today.
29th.
It's got to be
of April.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. So you saw it? Okay, I didn't see that today.
And then what I'm announcing it here.
Folks,
we're having a live.
We're
gonna have a live coverage here at Bar Minimum. We're gonna be looking at the polls.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, we'll have cyanide pills.
We're looking at polls, all right.
we'll have the pills depending on the outcomes. But yeah, that's a whole new chapter in Canadian history, but people are not going to agree with that either. And what happens when you not agree? Like,
we'll see.
How do you show your disapproval without pushing it too far? What is too far?
Well, one of the ways that, so far anyway, Canadian people have been showing their disapproval.
Yeah, well, honk our horns, eh?
Is the decline in popularity of Pierre Poilievre. Like, Trump winning. And
you saw the reverse psychology, eh? What Trump said.
What? Oh, that he thinks he and
I gotta get along with a liberal.
Well,
No problem. Yeah. Conservative, he's no friend of mine. Like
exactly.
Yeah. We'll see. I think a lot of people have made up their mind regardless.
I think I don't know actually. I don't know.
Remember how the American one went?
Well, that's the thing is right? So many of the things that are sort of coming up here in Canada seem like sort of working by opposite logic in the U.S. Like Mark Carney is going to run sort of a red Tory campaign where it's like closer to the center, and I think it might actually work for him. Whereas Kamala Harris tried to run closer to the center, and it was an utter failure. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
People want to live in real homes. Like at the end of the day, I don't really care. But it's like, can I move out? Like, can I get a job that pays? Like, I don't care who's in power. Like, let the best candidate win. If you haven't been doing well for a while, you need to let someone else try. If it hasn't been going well, if it's been trending downward for a very long time.
And for a long time, we've had center right and center left parties. So maybe let's try something else.
I think we need to let the Green Party.
Let them have their day.
Well, this is a conversation I think we're going to revisit in the near future, especially with
good idea.
April 29th. You heard it here first. I heard it here first.
You did. But no, I think this is a good discussion. We're not really leaning. What's the human element
versus like I think a lot of the people that are outraged, like I think the real change isn't sexy and doesn't involve violence and burning stuff. I think a lot of these people see a socially acceptable way to destroy things and couldn't tell you anything about why they're doing it.
Right.
There's an element of that on both sides, 100%.
Yeah, and like
100%.
Do you maybe just a final parting thought? And I know you're talking about escalation and where does it go, where does it end kind of thing, and that's fair. But like, is destruction of property violent, do you think? Is a climate protester throwing a can of Campbell's soup.
Do you know what's in the car at any given moment? Have you confirmed? I know it's a little silly question to ask, but I don't know.
All Teslas have babies in each of their trunks.
They do. In the glove. I know that was one
especially
comment
at the
someone
dealerships.
said.
Yeah.
No, obviously they lock all the babies in to test.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this will kill a baby.
Yeah. I mean, it looks violent. Like I see fireworks; they're pretty, but if I was close enough to a fireworks, it's going to blow my face off. So it's. You're adding forces of nature that are destructive to material, to unbuild things,
pollution.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's not
destructive. No one's arguing it's not destructive.
You burnt the friggin' all that fire,
all those bees,
all the bees get burnt up in the smoke. Like, what does that do? It'll never stop.
I think
that's why this podcast won't either.
We're just gonna keep going around.
I think we can wrap it up there. This is good. This is a good conversation. And again, if anybody wants to air your opinion, I believe we have the comment section open. Let us know on our Patreon.
That's a good. I like that joke. That's a good running
I know
joke.
it's good. It's good. Like we make money, but no, we want to thank you for joining in.
My mom subscribes.
And
my mom actually just got arrested for slashing the tires.
We're going to interview her in prison, but she already used her call. So we wish her the best. We wish both you the best, and sometimes myself. Thank you again for tuning into Bar Minimum. We'll see you next time.